As I've said before in other videos, the interior in this car is absolutely immaculate. I know it's got so little kilometers that you would expect to have leather that's super nice, but this level of nice, unheard of. The leather is super nice still, super soft, and no cracks, rips, or anything anywhere. And it's absolutely astonishing. There was one thing that we wanted to change, which is the head unit. We changed it right away because the previous owner had some like crappy 2004 radio. But there's one more thing that I want to change that's gonna change the feel of the car. And that would be this headliner. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely disgusting. Gray headliner? Nah. One time I was driving my friend somewhere and they took a selfie from inside the car, and oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. Behind them in the selfie, you could see this absolutely gross headliner. Oh my gosh, it looked horrible. I felt so bad. Why did they post that selfie? Oh my gosh. Honestly, it was so embarrassing. I wanted to sell the car right away. But nah, we're gonna fix that today so we can have no more embarrassing selfies, and I won't be embarrassed by friends to post selfies from an ugly car any longer. Okay, so these cars never ever came with a black headliner. Only I think like the M3 or the CHP came with the black headliner. So finding a direct replacement is gonna be absolutely impossible. That's why we're gonna hit our friend Max up at Color Glow. He's gonna rewrap this entire headliner and make it look absolutely new, which I can't be any more excited for. It's gonna transform the look of the car. It's gonna make it so cozy inside. I'm so excited. So first step, I think I have to remove the seats and then start pulling away the headliner.
That looks sick. Dude, your car's so clean, bro. You don't even need a vacuum.
You know why? I just vacuumed yesterday. Got my boy Daniel here to help me out because there's so many different screws and clips that need to come undone. We're both extremely scared to break stuff because, you know, old car. But let's go. Okay, first step, we pulled out the seats and now we're going to attack all of the stuff that's hanging from the headliner. So that includes the sun visors and the lights, etc.
I think this one just goes like this.
Look, this bro, I'm so scared.
Dude, I don't want to break shit. I don't want to do this. Oh,
Nice. And then this one, you sort of like pry at the sides or some shit with the flathead. And then there's like screws underneath.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Like that or something.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah. Why would you come out, dog?
Oh, okay, there we go. How the fuck does this clip work? Oh, I just pull it out. That would always be. After removing as much as possible from the headliner, we started to attack the rear section. The first task here is to remove the bottom portion of the rear seats, and you just sort of pull it up from the front, and it should pop right out. Next, we need to take out this side cushion here. Just pull it up from the bottom and it should release, giving us access to the rear side panel. Fuck, that does not sound good.
Yeah, I think I'm sure something broke though.
Then you're going to want to undo the Torx bolts that are found underneath the armrest here. Once you've undone those, you can pop off the side panel and that'll give you access to the bottom of the B-pillar where you'll find some push pins. Once you undo those, the B-pillar will come right off. You don't need to fully remove this panel. As long as you have enough access to the bottom of the B-pillar, it'll work. But I ended up dropping a bolt behind the panel, so I had to remove it anyways because I'm a silly goose. Next, we can start working on the C-pillar. First, I'm pretty sure you take off this light that's in there, but mine was so broken that I ended up just ripping the entire C-pillar off anyways. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to do it, but I think that's how I ended up doing it anyways. Yeah, old BMW things, everything's broken. There's also supposed to be a piece right here, but when I took my car to go get tinted, the tint shop broke it. Don't ask me how, but that's supposed to be there. Anyways, you just sort of pull it down from the back and it should release with some push pins. The last thing holding the headliner in place is this weather stripping that's found around the sunroof. Weather stripping actually plays a really big part in holding up the headliner in this car, so I actually found it really helpful to take out the weather stripping that's around the door, as well as the weather stripping around the quarter panel as well. Taking it out just made it a lot easier, so I'm not pulling it out from underneath of the weather stripping. And then once the weather stripping is undone, we can finally begin to remove the headliner. There's sort of a hook that's around the back of the headliner that hooks into the rear edge. And so you sort of have to slide the headliner to the back of the car, and that'll make the hooks release. And then you can actually drop the headliner down and begin to take it out of the cabin of the car. And here you'll see me struggle to rotate the headliner out of the car. I had the seat back in the car because this is actually like a 2-day process, so I put the seats back in for the time being. But I ended up folding the seats flat, and that ended up giving me enough space to be able to maneuver the headliner and get it out of the car. Alright, so we finally got everything out, and oh my gosh, this car looks so sad right now. Goodness me. And oh my gosh, the interior. No seat, no headliner, just a bunch of exposed wires. This is honestly so sad. Got the RX all loaded up, ready to go. Let's go bring it over to Max at Carglaw. Also, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to remove the I guess the moonroof visor thingy. We're just gonna leave it in there. You have to take apart this entire thing.
1 week later.
And that's all the pieces all loaded up, ready to go. Let's head home, and then we can finally put it in the car and see what it looks like. And now it's just a matter of doing all the steps we did before, but in reverse. Low-key, putting the headliner back in was a lot harder than taking it out. Getting it to fit properly was an absolute nightmare. Many times during this install, I just sort of gave up. Here's me using the headliner as a blanket. Once I finally got the headliner to fit somewhat properly onto the C-pillars, these pieces were also super hard to fit in because the C-pillar actually tucks into a slot that's beside the rear parcel shelf. It took forever to get right. And then by far the hardest part of this reinstall, the rear edge. As I said before, there's sort of a hook on the back side of the headliner that sort of hooks into the rear edge of the roof. But I guess when we added extra material for the suede, it just would not go back in properly and it just would not fit. So what I ended up doing is actually taking the little rear piece and just jamming it up in there. So that was basically holding it in instead of the hooks. Jank, I know, but good enough. And last but not least, the A-pillars. They're held on by 3 T25 bolts, I believe. This part took me forever. You just sort of have to jam it in there, get it right to the bottom, and also helps to remove the weather stripping. And just like that, we are done. We got a headliner now. Some of the pieces I still need, like those little pieces that are still like the beige color, so I'm gonna replace those. And we need our sun visors, which aren't done yet. But damn. Your boy forgot to film an outro, but anyways, going from a light headliner to a black headliner, like I'm talking about like a pitch black headliner, absolutely amazing. It just around your head, it just feels like it's just wrapping around you, and it's so freaking cozy. It's absolutely amazing. If you've ever gone from a light interior car to a black interior car, you'll know exactly what I mean. It feels so much more cozy and even more modern. But was it worth the money? Yeah, I could say so. Was it worth the effort to take out the headliner and then put in the headliner again? Absolutely not. Hell no. That was so much freaking work. I freaking hated every single second of that. But now that it's in, I freaking love it. Oh, suede. So I'm just like touching the suede. Oh my god. It's so soft and like cozy feeling. Oh my god. I'm getting like goosebumps like just talking about it. It's so good. I freaking love it. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.